Hey everybody, it's Danson Daryl from AMLA 604 at Concordia. This is the week 3 agenda. It's a chance for me to give some context through the welcome video. Some resources that you're going to want to consider for the micro teach. You technically had 3.1, or today, Monday the 22nd, is the day I'm recording this on. You have a chance to work on that, whether it's to flesh out your lesson plan, whether it is to collaborate with colleagues and kind of setting a day up. It's a chance for you to have that time to be working on that. In addition to that, here are some resources to flesh out some ideas on handouts, for example, tips on how to make a good handout, keeping it to one slide or document page. Tips on how to get some screenshots. These are just super helpful to be able to add to any handout so kids know, hey, that's what my screen looks like. These are things that you're going to have to update most years when you're integrating technologies. And then order, for example, if you have text on top of an image, if you want to keep it that way, you can do that by right clicking and going to order in slides. And there's another way to do that in PowerPoint also. Limiting the text is a huge suggestion, and then post that to your learning management system, whether it's Google Classroom, Canva, or another one. PDFs are great because they're really friendly. If kids have different devices, for example, or a link on a Google Doc with access to everyone. If you're thinking about going the screencasting route, here are 3 suggestions and a few tips. Here are some examples of what I think have been successful handouts. For me, a handout makes for the difference between a really great day and an awful day in tech integration. And believe me, I've survived both. Day 3.2 on the 23rd, tomorrow we will meet. Tomorrow, meaning Tuesday, 7/23, because I'm recording this on Monday. We're going to do something called the question formulation technique. It was something that we have worked on in the Innovation Center at Blaine High School. And it's a really student-centered pedagogy where students have the opportunity to create a list of questions in teams connected to a specific focus. That focus can be a text, a document, a map, a chart, an infographic, for example, and then they generate questions based on that. We've been working in collaborative teams at Blaine, and we've seen social studies has actually used this to then decide where they're at in terms of their learning. So when students create those questions, they actually post them in the classroom and then check off, hey, we've already touched on that piece, for example. I'll be excited to walk you through what a student proficiency portfolio looks like, sharing an example that I did in Blaine. And then day 3.3 on Wednesday, that information is listed. You're going to want to begin that final reflection and synthesis paper. That paper, by the way, is located in the summative assessments, and it is the same list of questions that are in the syllabus. So that link is down here. And again, this is where you're going to submit that document. It is a list of prompts. You're welcome to copy and paste the prompts and then answer the prompts, citing it using APA citation and references. Or some folks say, I think I'd rather flesh out like an essay style. I think the recommendation is 4 to 6 pages, double space, 12-point font, using APA as a heads up. 3.4 is kind of like a suggested timeline for micro teaching. Once people post to the hub, again, when I reference the hub, I'm referring to this document. And when people have their Zoom link posted here by me, because I'll be the one to receive that, you're going to want to go in and give praise push feedback. And here is an opportunity to shape that. Hey, I immediately noticed this. I really want to learn more about this. And then the push, which is sometimes hard for Midwesterners. What are your hunches if blank is added? Or might you also address blank as a potential gap? So here are some ways to kind of phrase that if that's helpful for you. And then we wrap up really content on Friday. And Friday is about a reflection activity. connected to a text written by Joan Hughes. It's actually one of my favorite readings in tech integration because this framework seems to make the most sense to educators. It is looking at gauging, is your lesson for microteach fit into replacement, more into amplification, or does it fit into transforming learning objectives with the help of technology? And that's exactly what this forum task is asking for you to do. Here are some resources that I'll kind of talk you through right now. There are opportunities for Google training that are done online. I've done these for what we call Flex PD at Anoka Hennepin. You can become level 1, level 2 trained in Google. You can also become what's called a Google Innovative Educator. I do have a list of suggested readings. So if you are a reader, these are things that I enjoy reading in the summertime. So here are some strong suggestions on what you might want to consider. If you're looking for a quick novel, for example, Entertaining an Elephant is a really inspirational read, a quick read. Maybe you have time before the school year starts to consider that. Some others that I really appreciate are both Courage to Teach from Parker Palmer, What Great Teachers Do Differently from Todd Whitaker. And then if you're looking at like suggestions of Deborah Blaze is one of my favorite authors. She's a French teacher out of Indiana, and she really coached me through how to teach languages in the block if you're doing that. She also has an assessment book, which I also value. So take a peek at those if you're looking for additions to your reading list. Conference for both tech integration and language teaching, ISTE.org is kind of like the ACTFL of tech integration. It's the International Society on Technology and Education. You can become a member and become certified in that. Opportunities for coaching. Hopefully, your district has access to teacher coaches that you can collaborate with. Ed tech journals, if you're like writing a thesis or a dissertation, for example, and you're looking for resources to strengthen your arguments, or if you want to dig through the research that might steer your work, you're going to want to use that as a resource. Feel free to share it. Conferences, there's a list of ed tech books. MWALT is a a Midwest Association of Language Teaching with Technology. IELT is the international group of that. I want to just share really quickly, MCTLC is the Minnesota ACTFL chapter. So this is all world languages to finish here. The American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages has a conference this fall at the U of M on the 25th, 26th of October. That's one that I really enjoy going to. It's close by, and they're just really great, friendly people there. Central States is in Kansas City in spring of 2025. That is like 17 17 MCTLCs together, mostly from the Midwest. And then ACTFL's in Philly this year. So if you happen to be near Philly or want to consider ACTFL, I've only been to ACTFL once. It was amazing, but it was also overwhelming. It was so much in terms of choice that I often felt like overwhelmed in what I should choose. So I hope that you get a chance to get to ACTFL. I want to wish everybody an amazing week. It's the last week of instruction. I will follow up after week 3. Friday, we're going to go back to that 9 o'clock time for office hours. Sorry, my mix up on office hours. We'll start it at 9 o'clock on Friday, as I had previously listed. So my bad for mixing that up. And then I'll do kind of a summary. You'll see me giving feedback on lesson 2.0, and just really looking forward to having a strong week 3 this week. Be in touch early if you have any questions, concerns, or if you're feeling stuck. Take care, everybody.